This video is made possible by the DJ Tech Tools store, the online shop for DJs and producers looking to find the perfect gear. Our store carries highly curated collections of DJ gear and production tools that we stand behind. If you need advice on making a good investment, we have a legendary staff of real DJs and producers ready to help. Visit DJTTstore.com today or click the link in the video description. Good morning, DJ Tech Tools. This is Ean Golden, back with the second video in the series. Last time we looked at delay and all the interesting ways in which you can use specific parameters of delay to create very expressive effects. Today I'm going to show you my favorite trick, which is using the parameters of a reverb to really make your mix sing. So in that example, I was using different parameters of a reverb, not just tweaking the wet dry, but more importantly, tweaking the size and the filters to make it really sing. And I was using the reverb not on the main track, but on a backing track that I have going over it. In this case, it's a simple clap loop that I use a lot in my sets. Here I've got a remix set filled with different loops that I love, backbeat hats, claps, 16ths, all kinds of different things. A lot of DJs will use things like the push and program different drum loops on the fly, which is a fantastic way to enliven and exciten your, that's not a word, but we're going to use it, to exciten your DJ sets. A faster way with less gear is to simply load up a bunch of drum loops that have cool patterns and then mess with them. And since you can't mess with the specific notes, you can mess with effects and other things you do to them. So in today's video, we're going to look into the fundamentals of a reverb and how to use it creatively to make your set sing. Okay, we're back. First, how does a reverb work? Well, there's essentially only two main parameters you need to know about, and that is wet dry and size. There's a lot of other parameters, and they're all really, really cool, but usually these are the two things you have access to in your software. So let's listen to what they sound like. First, basic wet dry. No reverb, whole lot of reverb. And a lot of DJs will mostly use that in their sets, which is not all that bad, but there's some cooler things that sound even better. Next, we've got size. And size is, as it sounds, how big is the reverb? Is it a small room or a big room? A lot of times you'll select a specific reverb, like a plate or a small room or a large cathedral, and the reverb will have the characteristic of that room. This makes things sound more natural, but I actually like reverbs that allow you to control the size. This is very unnatural. You would never hear the size of the room you're in changing, and if you did, you should probably freak out. But for our intents and purposes, something like that that's kind of a magical experience is really cool. Let's hear what it sounds like as we change the size. Here's a very small reverb. Sounds like I'm in a little room. And we're getting bigger. And right away, you hear the first kind of cool effect, which has a very musical quality to it. And that is simply going from small to large and manipulating that parameter. You are going to have so much fun with this. I hope your DJ software, or at the very least your production software, allows you to map a knob like the twister to your size in reverb and play with it. It is a lot of fun. Just the size alone would get a little bit stale. We need a second element to make it really come to life. In this case, I'm using the filters. And for that, let's switch to a different loop that has a full set of frequencies. Now, in these two knobs here, I've got them mapped to the high pass and the low pass filters. High pass meaning that the highs are going to pass through, low meaning that the lows are going to pass through. So this is saying how much of the highs are passing through, how much of the lows. Let's listen to what that sounds like. Lots of reverb in the low end, really like boxy, and only the reverb is getting in the high frequencies. Here we're not hearing any of those high frequencies, and here we're hearing a lot. So here's a lot of lows, not very much lows, and here I can take away the highs. Now, how each reverb expresses this concept is different. Every reverb is different. This particular reverb with Traktor has the high pass, low pass characteristics, which I pretty much only use the high pass. Basically, what you're going to want to do is find a way to control how much of the high frequencies are going to the reverb because of two things. First of all, let's get our track back up here, and we'll switch back to our clap. Listen to how natural it sounds as I take out the highs to reduce that reverb. So here's with all the highs. The reverb's still there, but it's kind of being pulled back. And I like this a lot more than wet dry. The wet dry feels a little more extreme. So one way that I'll introduce a reverb is by slowly introducing the high frequencies. And then I'll start to manipulate these two together. And that is how I use the reverb creatively to make my track sing. And this is a trick I use all the time. I'm going to put a link to one of my sets in SoundCloud, and if you listen to it, you'll hear me use this a lot. It's a very simple way to add dimension, drama, and excitement to your mix while also keeping you occupied as a DJ without destroying the entire song. If you loved this video, which I hope you do, would you please consider supporting DJ Tech Tools? We have an amazing online store full of great gear that's specifically curated for digital DJs like you. Not only do we only carry the very best stuff that we believe in, but we have a full staff of real DJs that are there to help you answer your questions. And it's from sales in that store that we actually pay for these videos. A lot of people think that YouTubers make a lot of money because we have so many views, and the reality is that we don't even have ads turned on because they pay so little. The only way we pay for DJ Tech Tools and pay for videos like this is by people buying stuff through our web store. So go over, check it out. It's at store.djtechtools.com, and all first-time visitors right now are getting 10% off anything in the store. Thanks again for watching. We appreciate your support, and I will see you next week.